Welcome back, everyone, to, unfortunately, already the final game of the first day of UKLC here. Hey. I'm Maurits Chronicler Meersen, joined by Nanox Harrison, and you look sad as well.
We have another day of games tomorrow.
Oh, I wouldn't know what I would do without those games, you know, because those casters just sit around for the whole week, just being sad.
I sit in the corner. That's literally what I do. They just put me in the corner. Yeah, in the studio. They just put me in the corner. I just sit there until next week, like a robot turned off. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
Yep, that is literally all I do. So this is the highlight of my week for me. That's in here because
you know, talking about highlights, we just saw Enclave versus Eminem, and now had some really great plays in there. But who do you feel like was your MVP, Ox?
Who would you feel like was your MVP? Because I just saw it on Twitter, so I know who was the MVP. So it'd be cheating.
That's a risky one. No, I don't want to be told.
He just said it.
I didn't hear.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Only Angel. I heard it.
Yeah, of course.
It was Only Angel, 8.8 KDA, and that Aatrox was, especially in team fights, just absolutely menacing.
I said it would be difficult to get resets, especially with the Taracle, but he found them. He got some amazing sweet spots on that Darkened Blade, and he just found the momentum, and he made them win the game off the back of his great team fight.
I think he also got a huge lead in terms of CS just on the 1v1 matchup alone.
So which up against the Jace isn't an easy thing to do.
And Only Angel, as you mentioned previously, is a top laner that was already played in UK, but
Eminem as well.
Yeah. And we're going to go, enough about that, we're going to go to the next match, which is going to be XL versus Barrage. Now, I naturally tend towards Barrage because they have a Dutch player, but XL have a 10-man LEC UKLC mixed roster, which if you're a betting man, that's probably the safe bet.
It's the safe bet. I went with the sort of wild card one when I went for Barrage, but I definitely think there's chances for them to come out ahead. On paper, a lot of people just lean towards XL, but Barrage, they have some stand-up players like Zergoth, the Benelux Wonder powerhouse that you talked about, but also Monkeys, who has every single split since there's been an EU Masters, he's made it to EU Masters.
Every single one.
Every single one. So he's done a lot of work. And all of them from the UK, so definitely a standout UK player. And I'm excited to see what he can do on Barrage. It's a really strong top side. Deep in the mid lane, I think he has always sort of been middle of the pack, but I think he has an opportunity to prove himself here. Fastleg and Jakamaka are the rookie bot lane, but I'm keen to see how they do.
So let's take a look at the matchup. And as you were saying, I do feel like we kind of a discrepancy in power to Zenda and Zergoth there. And I'm really wondering how we're going to see that work out in the game, because we talk about the top lane and the jungler for Barrage, but let's talk about the bot lane for XL, because...
No, I don't want to say it yet.
You don't want to say it yet?
Some people will have seen on Twitter already, but I want to just wait until we announce it with the rosters, because, XL, it's pretty crazy to see this bot lane in the UKLC.
It's Kasing, right? That's the big...
Oh, that's one of them. That's one of them. Someone else showed up. So you probably have some idea about it, but we'll show you when we get the rosters. But top lane matchup is Sendo and Zergoth. I think Sendo is a player who has had a lot of success before coming to the UK scene. And then he struggled a bit. But prior to that, very successful. And Zergoth is someone who has taken a lot of time out. So for both of them, this is redemption in this matchup.
Definitely. Let's take a look at the lineups here, as Orcs' surprise finally will get spoiled as we take a look at the lineup for XL. Sendo in the top lane, Taxa in the jungle, Special in mid, and it's of course Yarnan as the AD carrier with Kasing on support.
World semi-finalists, pretty crazy to see in our little UKLC, but it is pretty hype to see them in front of us. Next roster is the Barrage roster.
Yeah, and we have in the top lane, the man from Benelux, Zergoth, with Monkeys in the jungle, Diva in the mid lane, and Jakamaka and Fastleg as AD carry and support. Now, in a matchup like this, like you were saying, you gotta feel like Barrage is the underdog, but with players like Zergoth, who previously were doing exceptional, have now come back after a longer hiatus, Monkeys, who has never missed an EU Masters when he participated. Yeah. That's kind of things that make you think there is upset potential here.
And that's the thing, is that XL went to the first EU Masters, because someone helped them win the UK scene. But
was
since
it
then,
you?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Since then, they have missed out on the following ones, and it's been a lot of disappointment for them, because they've been hoping to get it again and again. And obviously now their focus is on the LEC, but they were still love together. And I feel for Barrage, to make it at all would be huge, but also you now have Monkeys, and this player hasn't missed one. To not make it would be a disappointment. We are flying into Champ Select now, and I wonder if we're going to see a Heimer ban.
I expected to. I can't imagine that we don't have one. And you were talking about, last season as well, a little bit, where Barrage was really one of the bottom tier teams. They were close to relegation, but in the end made it through. Whereas XL, they were top of the pack, but I think a lot of people were expecting them to put even more up of a fight than they did.
Absolutely, I think people expected more from them. They did end up going close in this series against Fnatic towards the end, but it just was not enough. I think you want to see them put a lot more, considering the big names on their roster right now. With Special, Sean, and Kasing, you expect them to get to the top and fight for that #1 spot with Fnatic, but so far, I haven't seen too much of that. Olaf being banned away from Monkeys, and that Aurelia being denied from both Zergoth and D.Va. Karma taken away from Sendo, which, could be played also support for Kasing, so a decent flex that is not going to be available.
Definitely, and the Aatrox, it was such a big impact top laner in the last game, getting taken off the table here. And a lot of back and forth. We don't see any specific target bans coming out yet, more all-round, banning away some of the stronger picks that we've seen. Something notable that we haven't seen yet, for example, is the Sona that we saw in the previous game.
Sona, the Sivir, the Yuumi, all still available. Actually seen the Victor getting banned away. That seems a lot more specific than the other bans we've seen. XL wanted to deny something specific coming out here. Now it goes over to Barrage. A lot of power picks still available on the side of XL, and Singh in his last performance in UKLC has shown that he is no stranger to playing the Sona Taric, one of the first teams in the UK to play it. And then Shannon as well, he plays some wild stuff with the Heimer and such, so he would definitely be up for picking something like the Sona Taric bot lane.
It's not off the table.
Not off the table at all. It is that first pick now for XL. Got to see what they prioritize. Sivir still available. We saw some bans and also did get that great win last game. That is potentially on the table as well. And actually the Nico coming out as that first pick. Did see a couple of bans as well and a game that was played. Good flex pick. Can go in a variety of roles, even in the bot lane as an AP carry. So a lot of flexibility there from that first pick. Now goes over to Barrage. What are they going to pick up in response?
And that is the question. Are we going to see them prioritize that top half of the map with a jungler or a top laner pickup, or are they going to go for something else? It looks like they will be giving over the Sejuani, also the recipient of a number of bans tonight already, and incredibly strong jungler at the moment.
Yeah, and it's not so much a concern, but the thing for me is that Monkeys is the best player on Barrage, in my opinion. I'm just going to flat out say it. But he is not the sort of player who plays to 1v9. He is a player who plays to facilitate his team, which is great. On a team where you're the strongest player, I'm not sure how well that's going to work, especially when you're up against the likes of Special, of Shannon in these carry roles. It might make it tricky. So far, they do pick up that Sejuani, and then they pick up the Zaya for Jakamaka, so something that's going to have quite a bit of safety if he needs it, and that's some great team fighting already.
And you were talking about flex picks before, and that's really the name of the game at the moment when you have big teams like the G2 making incredible use of, I think in their situation, like 4-way flexing any pick that they can think of.
Pike is a 5-way flex for them now. Yasuo comes out very quickly. Seen a lot of priority on this coming out from teams. Does mean you can stop that ult coming out from the Sejuani. And they see the Yasuo Gragas coming in. It's something we talked about earlier. It's a very strong mid-jungle combo. And Taxa and Special, I was speaking actually to Bonetto on a talk show, and he was saying how Taxa likes playing with Special because Special demands his attention. He is like, you play around mid, you do this for me, you do that for me. If they are playing this Gragas Yasuo combo, that is a we are going to 2v2, we are going to kill the enemy mid laner again and again, and you're going to make me fed. And that is the combo they've gone for. We do see the Zyra Rakan and the Lovers duo finished up for Jakamaka and Fastleg. A bot lane with a lot of experience playing together, makes sense to pick that.
Definitely does, and Zaya and Rakan, of course, incredibly versatile, makes each other stronger as well. Yeah. Just by the virtue of how does the champions work as we go into the second round of bans here. And as you were saying, we already saw Diabolus pull out the... Okay, there we go. There is the Heimerdinger ban, and I think that's a smart one. Yeah,
showing some respect. Things still in the air with where this Nico is going to go. It could be a Nico bot as an AP carry. It could be a top lane Nico. Have seen a bit of that. But it's still very much up in the air as a flex. The Yasuo is technically still a flex, but I do expect to see it in the mid lane. We don't know yet. We did see it top lane earlier today.
We did.
LeBlanc comes out as a ban against D.Va, a big respect ban. He is very known for his LeBlanc as a champion he likes to carry on, and would be pretty solid in the matchup against the Gragas Yasuo because you can dodge away from that cask.
Yeah, really, anything that has a lot of build-in mobility is going to be at least somewhat safe, although a flash body slam is so hard to deal with, especially when it's followed up by an explosive cask. So no matter what lane, mid lane you're going to go for, you always have to be careful as the Tahm Kench gets taken off the table, making sure that that doesn't go. It's usually still picked in supporter though, in solo queue, of course, you exclusively see it as a top laner. As the Camille once again gets taken away here.
I like it, especially when the Sejuani's been picked up. I like to ban that away because that is a very strong 2v2 as well. If you have the Sejuani Camille, you can lock up the Yasuo pretty easily. I actually want to see D.Va pick a melee champion where he can really pressure it before 6 because Gragas, Yasuo are strong once they have their ultimates. But Sejuani and a melee mid laner are strong at any point, and they might actually be looking towards that Akali, and that is a pretty strong 2v2 pre-6, and actually after 6 as well. It's hard to pin down that ninja, so gonna definitely give a fight to XL's mid and jungle.
Yeah, and might see a lot of action there, and we do see that Barrage. We talked about this earlier. Are they gonna put priority on counter picks? And they do, and one of the traditional counter picks against the Sejuani has been that Trundle, with Subjugation being able to just siphon so much of both her health and resistances that she innately has. And the, I assume, Corki mid, which would mean Yasuo top and Nico bot, or
what it could
Yasuo
be,
bot.
It could be Yasuo Gragas bot lane. Then it's Corki mid, Trundle jungle, and Nico top. It can go in lots of directions. There's so many flexes. Every single pick that XL have taken is a flex. Okay. Barrage will go for that now with a bit of safety on his top. It's a pretty solid blind. But up until that 20-second point, we have no idea exactly where the picks from XL are going. All I can say is it's not going to be a Corki jungle. It's not going to be a Yasuo jungle. And it probably won't be a Nico jungle. Everything else is possible.
Okay.
They're going to switch. The Yasuo and the Corki are going to switch, I think.
I imagine that they kind of have to. But they haven't yet. We still have 10 seconds left of the clock. Meanwhile, on the side of Barrage, no big surprises there, as Orcs keeps looking increasingly worried towards that swap.
I feel like you want to put the Yasuo with the Gragas. I think it's a waste not to.
And
it looks like at least they're not going to in their traditional roles. So unless they're switching their roles, this is where we're going to see them.
See it happen. You have the pillar.
But it does seem a bit weird when we have Ignite in Yasuo and Ignite on the Gragas. So it looks like they were just flexing about quite a bit. It is going to be that Trundle Yasuo mid lane combo. A lot of kill pressure on the Sejuani, so they could punish her. She will be very squishy with both of their ults going down. Because remember, Yasuo gets Armor Shred on his ultimate when he casts it. And a Trundle obviously is the king of shredding tanks.
Yeah, and I've got to be worried here because the strongest thing about that Sejuani is the resistance that she gets in combination with the health that she just puts on early on. She can't really get through, and then combined with the melee carry like the Akali and the Gnar if he is in his Mega Gnar form. A lot of CC there. Yeah. Now, looking at this, I love the flexing from XL, but when I see flexes like this, I'm also always I'm hoping that they don't just flex to flex. Now, with the experience on this team, I can't imagine that actually is the case, but I need to see it before I believe it, because especially, as you were saying, the Corki bot lane is something that I haven't seen in quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously it means that they still have some magic damage on their composition, so it means they have a more diverse damage profile. I don't think it's awful. It just seems weird to me because they had this super strong mid-jungle combo, and they had the opportunity, if they wanted to flex a bot, but instead they've ended up with Yasuo Trundle, which isn't the greatest combination.
You can even put Trundle support.
It's like, why pick
That's been done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, why pick the Gragas if you're gonna not put it with Yasuo? And obviously it's gonna be there for later game team fights, but I mean, it's going to come down to Kasing Roman again and again and again to make sure when they go for those plays level 6, he's there. But also, a support takes longer to hit level 6, so you're missing that window a little bit. And especially against Akali, you can't just always guarantee you're going to hit that ult, because it's very much a hard one to pin down.
Even then, I do feel like with the Nico as well, because I haven't really talked about that pick as much, but the team fight from XL is absolutely insane, because you have the Pop Blossom, and then you have all these team fight ultimates, and one of the main team fighters on Barrage's side, the Sejuani, is not going to be able to do nearly as much as we talked about earlier, just because of the threat of Subjugation can always come through, so...
Be interesting to see, because we have seen a bit of a meta develop where when a jungler plays Sejuani into Trundle, they don't take Aftershock, because once you proc it, your prime target will be still in the way. And actually, we do see it. Monkeys has gone for Hail of Blades on the Sejuani, so it means he can stack his passive up quicker, and he won't be as much of a target for the Trundle to ult and steal away all those free stats.
Is Trundle really ever going to ult anyone else? I mean, I still think the Hail of Blades is a good call, but...
Yeah, you're still going to ult away the Sejuani, but it just means he gets less armor and magic resist. And actually, one of the issues is if you go Aftershock and you proc it and he steals it, and then the Aftershock fades off, you actually can end up with even lower MR and armor. I think it might have been patched, but originally you could actually go like negative. It was that bad.
Especially if your Frost Shield just wears off at the same moment as well.
Yeah, if it's the Frost Shield and the Aftershock, so they steal a percentage of that, and then you lose both of those, and you're still getting stolen the same
and with like
flat amount.
30 armor in MR. Just gets shredded by everyone.
It's just, it's true damage at that point.
Oof. And we have indeed seen that Yanan will be playing mid lane here as the Corki, and the last second swap to the exhaust for special means that is going to be quite a threatening kill lane there in the bot lane.
It's what I wanted to see, and I mean, as I said, on where their roles are traditionally, yes, they've swapped they swapped it to have the Corki bot lane, but I think this is the better matchup. I think having the Gragas and the Yasuo together is way more favorable, and it means that Taxa and Shaman can just sort of farm up in this 2v2, and they're going to scale incredibly well. I also hope that our Observer can switch over where the Yasuo and the Corki are, because it does kind of throw me off when they're in the wrong lane.
Does it?
Yeah.
I mean, it does for me, but I imagined you as a colorcaster would not be bothered by such trifling matters as we see Monkeys going for a full bot side clear and then making his way towards the top side. There we go. That feels good, doesn't it? And
now we can have the better comparison. Hyun actually smurfing so far in mid lane. Getting pretty high CS, but it is a Corki against a melee matchup, so you're going to be pretty favorable. And that's the situation. Bot is that special Kasing 2 melees against essentially 2 ranged. Not going to be strong early, but once you're at that level 6, and even that level 2 with the body slam, could potentially look for plays.
Really need to respect that as we see the top lane, Glacial Augment being taken there by Sando, just to make sure that once you tag Zergoff, you're going to be able to consistently stay on top of him. As Monkeys just goes about his business, clears his jungle. Zergoff already taking a lot of harassment here from the Nico. And
Monkeys getting very low on this clear. Just have the smite though, should be fine.
There we go. Smite comes through. As Taxa takes the bot side scuttle, maybe make a play towards bot lane now. Barrage should be aware that Taxa is in this bot side river.
Yeah, they're not on the favorable side of the map. Actually, Kasing goes in and has to flash away through the knockup. And actually, Special might just go down. Special
gets double flashed after, but will stay alive. A beautiful tornado means that he lives. He goes back in. He's not afraid of anything as Jakamaka and Fastlect get demolished by Taxa's gank. And I gotta say, I thought they were overstepping there, but what a play from the XL bot lane.
Yeah, they burn all their summoners across the board, but they managed to find the 2 kills, and Jakamaka and Fastlect just overstepped. Their jungler wasn't there, and they didn't respect the gank potential from Taxa. He manages to deliver and give an advantage to his bot lane.
And that's a great way to start off the game here, because of course, with something like the Yasuo and the Gragas, if you're ahead, you can just continuously look for these engages.
You just both press R. Once you hit level 6, it's really easy to set up, especially when there's someone like the Rakani. So we'll see how that one went ahead. Sing actually, so they're down a level. They do hit the level 3 here, and the body slam comes in, but Fastleg manages to turn around. A lot of damage goes into Sing, and actually this root from Jackamack was really big onto Special. But they flash in, and the exhaust stops the damage from being there. And now Taxa turns up. It's easy pickings for him. The wind wall is so late from Special, but he was just buying time, and the Triumph means there's no way he falls down.
I love the fact that Special goes in there as well. Like, it shows that he knows...
Supreme confidence.
Exactly. And that is something that's got to be scary to face, as we see Sing making his way back towards this bot lane just as the moment. By the moment, the wave is hitting the turret once again. And that's also going to be quite a nice CS advantage here for the XL bot lane already. Teleport comes through. And all across the board here, besides the bot lane, not seeing too much action as of yet, but still, at 5 minutes, XL already has an almost 2k gold lead.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's huge for this team. They have stepped ahead so early, and it's what they need to do. There's a lot of scaling coming up from their roster. They have the Corki, who's going to be great late game, and the Yasuo as well. They just need to keep this momentum going, because right now, it's going good. Special and Kasing still potentially looking for things right here, but they have to respect the 2v2, especially because Monkeys is hanging around in the area. He wants to try and return the favor Taxa gave to his own bot lane with a gank of his own, but he won't find the opportunity. And now the junglers will end up eyeing each other up.
Yeah. Don't actually go for anything though, as The jungler wants to take the risk as once again Taxa making his way down towards the bot lane, take the blast cone. Tornado finds one, but Taxa will be walking over the ward. It's going to clear that out, possibly also the one in the topside river, as Monk is also gets spotted, not able to find anything on Yarnan there, as the two junglers meet. But
really
no
good tornadoes
real
coming out from Special, though. Like, the fact that he's poking down Azaya as a melee champion, pretty crazy.
Roughly 20 CS ahead as a melee laner into a ranged matchup is absolutely insane.
10 CS ahead.
It was 20 when I said it.
Oh,
just believe me on
sorry.
that one.
Okay,
Big
I
wave.
believe you. Big
Dis
wave,
disregarded
yeah,
the wave.
I thought it was just a Jake moment where you just said something wrong.
I mean, I do that as well. This was just not.
It
one
is
of
the
those
Jake
moments.
special, though.
Is that what you call it?
Yep.
And what's an orc special?
To say something right.
Well, that's not special. That happens all the time for you, doesn't it?
That's just the orcs. But that's why it's the orc special, because it's just the orcs thing.
But that is not the special. Like that. That's just you. Also, is the special not saying something wrong for you as well? Because you never do it. So for you, it will be special if you say something wrong.
I'm gonna move on with this conversation.
Why now?
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming in onto Barrage's bot lane. Taxa position himself, potentially looking for some deep wards in the enemy jungle. Special playing this, playing it so well. Dodges away from the knockup from the Rakan, and he's essentially just untouchable right now. Ult now available for both of them. They're gonna look for this. There's no ult on Jackamaka, so I think they both go down.
Don't even wait for the wave. There they go. Go immediately in. Jackamaka already taken down as Kasing is tanking turret aggro. Now going over to Taxa. Will get hit by the knockup though. Can he get out?
Oh, he gets him.
Doesn't look like it. In the end though, it will still be a 2-for-1 as a double kill gets picked up by Kasing there. But at least Barrage gets a kill for the effort.
Yeah, they managed to get a kill turnaround, and both kills gone Kasing, so it's probably the best person to pick those up, but at the same time, you're losing plates on the tower. Jackamaka is missing so much XP, and this is where my concern came with Barrage roster. Their bot lane inexperienced and struggling up against them. We actually seen a play come out top.
I was about to say, that
misses, but the stun comes in afterwards. A lot of missed skill shots.
Oh no. Oh no. Orcs is here.
Wow.
Stupefied as we see not only the Mangonaut ultimate missing, but also the Sejuani
That was
prison.
That was something.
That's not great. Zergov goes in for a trade once again. Monk is making his way over there, but will be spotted out by the ward. This does mean that Zergov can get a little bit of a trade in, but I don't think that they want to try and dive Sendu again after.
I mean, it went so badly last time.
Yeah.
Oh. Not great.
Kind of have to recover. I want to say you have to recover from that. But
I mean, I understand why they went for the play, because the bot lane was getting punished. Oh, ult comes in actually on the bot side from the Yasuo.
That is probably going to be the end of Jackamaka. No, does get out there. And Kasing does not have the explosive cask available.
Flash and ult gets burnt though by Jackamaka, so not the greatest situation to be in. They will have to back off, and they are falling really far behind in CS. And Barrage's saving grace was this top side, but they end up really dropping the ball. And Sendo managing to pick up those 2 kills, pretty crucial.
As you see, Monkeys go for the top side scuttle, and as you were saying, Ox, we were coming into this match as we're now 10 minutes in, and there was still a 3.5k gold lead for Excel. And I'm talking about this top side of Barrage, Monkeys, maybe Zergold, if they can make something work, but as of yet, it's not looking like their victory against Excel is going to come from that side of the map, so Barrage really need to find something here, and Rift Herald might just be the thing. Going to pick that up here, put a lot of pressure. And doesn't look like it will be contested, and there is no real objective available, though. I think their bot lane turret, as I say, that is getting destroyed there. Just gonna give that up and possibly try and set another topside play up again. Last time there were only 2 people, this time they have 4 people, so...
Yeah, but the problem is Sendo's just able to walk away. They will throw the Rift Hole down, they should get this tower, but looks like XL are just willing to push for 2 in return. No, they're actually gonna recall now. Get a couple of plays. I'm not sure if they get this tower. It's a lot of HP to burn through. They are going to start at it, so maybe.
Yeah, even with the charged turret being effectively full health, makes it a lot harder. And Zergov and Monkeys against Sendo 1v2, need to be careful. And there is the actual Taxa making his way down the top lane. As you were saying, Ox, the turret doesn't even go down. And for how many resources Barrage just expended there, that can't feel good.
Yeah, this is a rough start for Barrage, absolutely. And Zergoth, oh, that is not where you parked your car.
And there we go, the engagement on top of Zergoth, has no flash available, gets knocked back by the explosive cask, and that is going to be the end of him as Taxa picks up a second kill, and XL look to be completely in control of this match.
Absolutely, they're just destroying XL in every single regard. Sorry, destroying Barrage in every single regard. XL are on fire this game. They're looking topside now, they're going to try and get that tower, and it's still 2 minutes before the Platons fall, so a lot of gold available for the side of XL. They want to keep pushing this gold lead. 5k already, but they want to make it go further.
They've already picked up 10 full plates, and 11 will be one in the mid lane there, so just in the back of that, even if you disregard the kills and the Mountain Dragon that they were able to pick up, XL is just so incredibly far out there. Look for the engage on Yarnan, as far as like dives in, but he can't even find it. Yarnan can't even defend this turret here.
Yeah, they got a plate. For that whole play, they get a plate, and it's just a testament to how situations are going for Barrage. They get so little every time they move so many people to an objective. And XL are just completely in control of this game. They will give up this Cloud Dragon, but it's a small consolation prize for what's happened on the rest of the map. And actually,
I don't even know if they're going to actually give it up here. We see Taxa moving forward, and they
give it up. They're backing up.
They can't afford to. And XL, as we're saying, just completely taking control of this game. This does not feel like we're 13, 12 minutes in. This feels like maybe 20 minutes, you know, Baron is about to spawn, but the plates haven't even dropped yet.
Yeah, and they're 5.7k gold up. It's a massive lead, and they're going to look to push down mid and try and extend that even more. Jakamaka will look to defend. Doesn't even have an item yet compared to the Triforce on Hyunan's Corki. It's a massive difference.
It's insane, and just across the board, no real finished item yet for Barrage because Zergoth doesn't really have anything to work with yet. Monk is just now finishes his Cinderhawk, and it's just not coming together for Barrage every time they try to set up plays, because that is something that they are doing. It's not like they're just waiting for XL to make proactive moves, whereas where they just wait and see what happens. They try to go for the plays, but they just never seem to work. They try to go for a dragon, it gets contested. They try to go for a top lane dive. Sendo trades 1v2 while their bot lane gets demolished. And Barrage need to kind of make a miracle happen with how far behind they already are here. Whereas XL, they're looking extremely confident here in the first game.
Yeah, they're looking so strong here, and there really is very little Barrage can do right now. The game is in control of XL, and I think they just need to wait for the right person to step out of position and to instantly blow them up, and that is their one win condition right now. There's no way they comfortably 5v5 them at this point in the game with such goal discrepancies, as you can see below. 2,000 between Special on Yasuo and Jakamaka on that Xayah. It's big.
We were talking about the bottom mid lane, and I mean, the top half is somewhat closer than the bottom half, so...
It's less bad.
Yeah. It's not great.
But it's less terrible?
Yeah.
I mean, Eva's doing okay.
Yeah.
He's only...
Diva and Yarnan has just been locked in a CS off, where Yarnan pulls slightly ahead, and on the back of his Kleptomancy steals build up somewhat of a gold lead, but it's not crazy. The problem is the rest of the map, where the bot lane is already so far behind them. Zergoth once again getting caught out here, tries to get away, flashes a tornado, but Taxa is having none of it, flashes after him, and picks up the kill there. And that does mean that there is a numbers advantage here for Barrage in the mid lane. But even there, they can't find the engagement. They need to be careful because we see Taxa and Sendo trying to look for, or Special rather, trying to look for the flank, whereas Sendo is off on his own in the side lane, just pushing away at the turrets. And Barrage's defense just doesn't seem to be enough to hold all these different threats that Excel's putting out.
There's too much pressure across the game, and it's very difficult for anyone to really handle the amount of damage output and engage potential coming out from XL. They are going to try and push down this mid tower. Raj seems to want to defend, but I don't think there's much hope.
I don't think so either, but Monkus is going to go in, does get knocked away, and even the Sejuani's not that tanky, he needs to flash immediately. There comes the engagement! Two-man knock-up comes through as Fastlect already gets blown up. The teleport comes through from Zergoth. He is nowhere near his megaphone, but Special finally steps too far forward. The Pop Blossom doesn't really find anyone, and have they done it? Is Barrage finding a team fight that they were looking for as Diva takes a lot of damage? In the end, XL give up 2, and only 1 dies on the side of Barrage. It's not quite what they were looking for, but Barrage still showing signs of life here.
Yeah, but remember the shutdown gold is going to come into effect. I didn't see quite how much it was, but Barrage starting to get themselves back in the game and showing there is still some life on these ships.
These battleships. Is it just a battle? Like, is the crew from Barrage just a battleship? Or is it
yeah,
like
it's
5
about-
battleships? Like, moving in unison?
I feel like it's a battleship, and then they have like five cannons that shoot a barrage.
That actually makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Thank you for explaining even those intricacies of the, you know, UK League of Legends scenes to me, Orcs. Much
These are the true
appreciated.
complexities that I have to think about every day. They keep me up at night.
That's why you sit in the corner here all
Yeah.
week, just thinking about these
Contemplating.
kind of things. As now, 17 minutes into the game, we see that D.Va is going to be able to disengage, at least for now. Soccer sitting in time, but
You know, a big thing in that last fight isn't only just the goal, but the XP, because XL really were pulling ahead in a lot of areas. But now, Jakamaka is just caught up with Special, Kissing and Fast Leg are even, D.Va and Hyun are even, Monkeys and Tax are even. The only one with a discrepancy is top lane, and that makes a big difference, because everyone likes to look at goal difference, and it is obviously massively impactful. We'll have a look at that team fight again. They burn everything on Monkeys, and I think that's what starts off the issue. Fastleg goes for a big engage there to buy time, and although he does die on the back end, his lockup on Special forces him into a corner where he's taken out. Sendo ults, but he's not in position to hit anyone, and then D.Va still has the second use of his ult and takes him out on the back end. Kissing actually makes a really good... That's dark.
it's a mouse. It's okay.
Yeah, really good play coming out from Barrage, taking out, and Sendo not looking happy after that play.
Definitely not, as we see. There is still a sizable goal lead for XL. It's not like they have fallen behind on the back of that one play, but it also shows that even with how far ahead they are, they can't disrespect the team fighting potential from Barrage here. There is always the threat of a Maganar. There is the threat of Jakamaka and Fastlag just finding a big engage, dodging away from all the damage, and then still making it, especially as we saw there when D.Va can get on top of his targets, it's actually quite easy to take him down. Now, XL, with how dominant their early game is looking, I can't imagine that we're going to see a repeat of that, but Barrage, that is what they're looking for, as the second Mountain Dragon was also picked up there. And now the question to me is XL going to try and go for another aggressive play, or they're going to wait for the Baron that comes up in about a minute and a half?
I mean, you could potentially look for another aggressive play. Not the same one you went for last time. Don't burn everything on that Sejuani. But the Baron will be so easy to take. You have double mounting. You have so much DPS across your composition. And that's why Barrage are looking to try and contest his vision control. Jakamaka and Fastleg and Monk is heading over. But XL are not going to give up this control easily.
As we now see 2 item spikes hit for both Yarn and Special. Knight's Vow done for Taxa, giving even more survivability to his carries. As Barrage, 6k gold deficit, 45 seconds until the next Baron starts. Monkeys, that's just a little bit of chip damage, and even that takes him already so low. Doesn't even have a second item finished just yet. As Fastlegged, a little bit of poke, but nothing happening yet. And we keep looking towards people like the Zergov, like Fastleg, to find these big engages.
Yeah, absolutely. We want the engage to come out. It was a great knock-up and charm coming out from Fastleg last team fight. The thing is, he got blown up so quickly in the back end of that. And that was with so many ults not available for XL, so they just used them on Monkeys. It really is playing on a knife's edge when you look for these engages, because you can be blown up so fast by this XL team comp.
Yeah, because as we were saying, even the tankiest Nangamungus isn't that tanky in of itself. Add the subjugate to that, and there is just nothing left of your health or your resistances. As now we see Baron has spawned, and as clockwork, the 5 members of XL, 4 members of XL rather, move towards it, and look at how fast they shred it down. We see the pings going down, and Barrage are making their way
gone.
over there. But I think it's already going to be gone by the time Monkus is there. He throws in the Glacial Prison, but it does not matter. And that is the power of a double Mountain Dragon. Corki and Yasuo just shredding through that.
They just take it so fast. There really is very little Barrage can do. And XL are playing this game by the textbook. There is no angle they are given right now for Barrage to get in. There was that slight teamfight mistake they had before, but really a lot more of those have to come if Barrage want to find their footing.
Definitely, because also look at the vision. This is not a Baron like we've seen before where a team just goes, okay, it's 20 minutes, we have Mountain, let's try and go for Baron. They had full control of the vision. We saw Barrage kind of hesitate to try and move in there just on the back of them not knowing if there was a trap being set up there. And now, with the Baron empowered means, we're going to see these turrets fall so fast as Monkeys is making the flank. Still not level 11. That might help with the Glacial Prison, but doesn't have that available anyway. And the siege from XL is going to be relentless. Now, this is one of the occasions
Those coming out.
Yeah. There's some big numbers, man.
Yep, they are big in both the size of the font and also the values.
Yeah, both.
Monkeys is on the flank. They might look for something here, but he has no ult.
And doesn't want to go on Taxa, tries to stun him down. Permafrost is not going to get used as the pillar comes through. Monkeys gets critted, almost dies immediately. Is going to be able to, no, the subjugation is enough in the end. The engagement comes through. Fastlak stays alive, and Big Gnaw is looking for a play as Sendo has to use his Zhonya's defensively there, but everyone will get away at least for now. Zergov, though, kind of the sacrificial lamb, as he was off on his own. Hex Drinker does it save him, and he gets taken down. Now it's up to Diva, Jakamaka, and Fastlak to try and hold on, but they don't have anything left standing. Ox, they don't have cooldowns, they don't have ultimates, and XL are just pushing through here.
Yeah, there's very little to stop them. Only 3 members, and without the ult from the Akali, a limited amount they can do, and XL are potentially just looking to end their first game of the split right here and now.
And the dominance is not relenting as they keep on pushing here. A lot of damage. The knockup doesn't find anyone. Fastlak jumps back. Diva going for some poke damage. Gets tagged by the root there. And I can't imagine that Barrage want to go for an engage here. But it's not over just yet. And can I just say, I love the visual effects on that. Do you see the fire coming from his nose?
Yeah,
he is the Infernal Dragon.
He literally is. I feel like we've had a range of elements coming from our coaches throughout. So
It's really cool.
Yeah, pretty hype.
If you were, if you were an element, one of the 4 classic ones, which one would you be?
Are you saying you want me to do like, because I did the whole
I
Unite.
know. I know. You don't have to do it. I just for me. I want to know, and I think everyone else would be curious, like, what element would you be?
Water.
Water.
I drink a lot of water.
So just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
I like that.
So where I am, and actually Diva could be in a bit of trouble here.
And there is the Shuriken flip once again, and also dodges the pillar, making sure that Special can't find the last breath there.
Yep, dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge. All in Diva's playbook.
It doesn't really matter though, although Diva's the only one who's still deathless here, so impressive showing all in all, really, here from the Barrage mid laner. But their base is crumbling rapidly, and it's an all-or-nothing team fight if they want to try and make a stand here. As the Baron empowered minions make their way onto the turret. Turret gets taken down incredibly fast. Zergov is building up towards that Mega Gnaw, but Diva gets tagged by Special's last breath. There is the engagement. That Special gets taken down once again. Monkeys gets really low, and so does Kasing, but they both use their stopwatches. There is the pop loss of a great Mega Gnaw, knocks 2 against the wall. And that is going to be the team fight that Barrage were looking for, as we see Diva once again. Zergov plays the saxophone, and Yon is trying to run away. Zergov does not find him, and that is going to be the end of it. Is he going to jump over? Zergov, no!
You don't win that!
Why?
Wait, Diva's waiting for him.
Yeah, he throws away the saxophone.
Yeah, by all means you should. Don't quit your day job, because that was not the play.
That was a very high peak play into a very low peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It showed the greats that Barrage is capable of, and also the flaws. But they did manage to defend. They managed to find a massive team fight against XL, getting 4 members down, which by all means should not happen with this much of a gold lead, with this much of a disparity between the team's performance so far, and yet they did. And now they just have to find that, 7 more times, maybe they'll win.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that is the goal, that's the plan.
And XL not wanting to let that happen. In the end, they did pick up the turret there, just not able to find the inhibitor. And once again, it was Special moving very far forward there. Will of the Starks the H now to try and stay just alive for a little bit longer. Still a 4 elemental drakes. Still a 9k gold lead at 25 minutes. If you're an XL fan, don't worry too much, but you gotta give Barrage some credit here for finding these somehow miracle team fights in multiple times in this game.
My big concern right now, though, is this Corki, because he's level 16, right? He has a lot of CS. He has 3 items. He is so strong right now, and that is the scary thing, is that they did manage to kill him in the last team fight, and even if they did, I don't think that'd change how strong he is. He is monstrous. D.Va might be looking for special here, but is just going to clean up the wave instead. Then it comes in, but it won't connect.
And as you were saying, Orcs, 3, 4, 5 of these team fights, and Barrage is back in the game, but Excel are not looking like they'll want to give it to them. Baron buff has worn off, but Excel still have plenty of pushing power with an open inhibitor in the bot lane and a broken down one in the mid lane as they make their way.
Oh
and
no!
Team fight can't go wrong. D.Va gets attacked by the last breath, but uses the stopwatch. Will go down afterwards, though, as Monkeys jumps in. And this is what we were afraid of. A nice ultimate by Zergolf. Doesn't matter as much when the rest of the team gets absolutely annihilated. Yarn and still a deathless game. Fastlect and Zergolf are trying to stay alive for as long as they can, but they don't find the fight for a third time in the row as the entire team bumps into one another. Fastlect off on his own, and I don't think a single Rakan can hold off against the mighty Excel here as they are looking to take their first game here in the summer season of the UKLC.
Yeah, very confident here in Yarn. Gonna go unkilled in his UKLC debut. The team destroyed Barrage, and a solid performance from them puts them through next day's games.
No upset for Barrage.
No.
You thought it was going to happen?
I tried.
You did try.
Barrage tried. Hey, they had a good team fight.
There were some moments.
But XL were just unrelenting.
And I really, while I want to say that I thought that Barrage put up a really full fight, I want to focus on Excel because, as we were saying before, last split, there were a lot of expectations on them as well. And those weren't really cashed in.
Yeah.
And this split, at least for this first game, we need to see whether or not they can keep this up.
Yeah, because the thing that worried me was just that team fight that they lost that really shouldn't have happened. And against a better team, it just shouldn't happen. And that's my concern, is that they managed to beat Barrage, which is great. They managed to establish where they should be, but they still have a lot of teams to go through. They have the likes of Eminem, they have the likes of Fnatic. They have not finished their week yet. Definitely
not. And, you know, they dealt with Barrage, but the rest of their opponents are only going to be more fierce from here on out. And your MVP for that game will be Kasing with his Gragas play. And if I look at those early bot lane plays, don't think anyone can fault it for that 11.0 KDA here. And Kasing was also one of the players that last season had highs, had lows, and here he looked revitalized.
Yeah, I think he looked refocused, revitalized, and he really put on a strong performance. His Gragas was standout for his team. Not exactly an unconventional support, but I like the flex they did, and then taking the Yasuo Gragas spot with special and Kasing, it worked really well.
So, in the end, XL very deserved win. Barrage, they have some moments to look at the top lane play because the proactiveness was there, but how well the plays actually worked out still needs some work.
Bit of more execution, and they have it sort of together. And I think it was a hard opposition to come out from game one. We do see that all in early, and it looked so good starting off for Fastlect and Jakamaka, and it showed a lot of potential, but it was just a great bait coming out from the XL bot lane. And Taxa there to clean up makes it very difficult.
As you were saying, the fact that Special goes back in there, has the Triumph Rock, he's not afraid of anything, just dives back in.
Oh, and this is the problem, is that they made that one misplay, then they got behind, and the dive was so easy to execute when there's no ultimate available for the Rakan or for that Xayah. Just great execution.
And while this was happening, a unspeakable horror took place in top lane, of course. And this is where it really kind of came together for Barrage, but they were looking for that miracle team fight, and they actually found it.
Yeah, it was an overstep from XL. They burnt everything onto the Sejuani, and they didn't find the kill. And then they do end up losing 2 members in return off the back end of this. And I think this and that other team fight that we no doubt will see around the bot inhibitor, they were the moments that make me think, XL aren't quite all there. Definitely a good showing. They definitely deserve the win, but there were just points where I'm like, you need to clean this up if you want to say we're the top team, we can challenge Fnatic.
Because that was, of course, what we're going to be looking at. Let's take a look at the bracket for tomorrow's games as we see Demise take on Diabolus and Eminem versus XL. And the winner of those play against each other and get to take on the looming threat of the first week here is, of course, Fnatic Rising.
Yeah, and that's a concern for me, is that they looked so strong last split. They won the UKLC, they won the Forge Champions, they did great EU Masters. They have changed up the roster slightly with NG instead of Dan, but they are the team to beat by all means.
So, looking at tomorrow's games, we saw a lot of prowess, a lot of explosiveness as well, and opened and closed, you know, with some rather one-sided games. In the middle, though, a lot of variety, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah,
what do you
absolutely.
expect out of tomorrow's games?
I expect even closer fights, you know. I think there were some one-sided games today, but I think it's going to get closer and closer as we go on. I want to see how these teams fare up against Fnatic, though, because they are the benchmark by which every team needs to be measured.
So, cost for tomorrow. Demise vs Diabolus.
I'm going to go with Demise.
Okay. So, a lot of confidence in the new up-and-coming team.
Yeah.
And Excel vs Eminem, that's the match that I'm really looking forward to, because Eminem, having a little bit of a shaky early game, bounced back very well, whereas Excel, they were in control early. There were some moments that just weren't as clean.
That's a hard one, but yeah, if you want to have a look at over the matches today, or if you want to see any of our previous matches, check out us on YouTube. If you want to let us know what you think, who you think is going to win, then feel free to tweet at us. It is both LVP UKLOL and use the hashtag UKLC on Twitter if you want to get in touch with us and let us know. What do you think? Who is it going to be, XL or Eminem? Because honestly, I think it's too close to call. I'm going to have to think about that one.
Also, I'd love to have an answer to, what do you find scarier, a scorpion or a big lady with a fist? Because I still have that, you know, racking my brain about what would be scarier. And on that note, unfortunately, that's going to be all of it for tonight. We will be back tomorrow, as mentioned previously, with Demise against Diabolus, Excel against Eminem, and the winner of that taking on Fnatic Rising. See you tomorrow.
See you then.